So well gone people, welcome back, and today we're going to break down how I made this drill beat, so let's get straight into it. When I first started making this drill beat, I started off with this sample right here. Now some of you may recognize that sample, and it's from my previous tutorial, but if you're seeing this for the first time, I will leave a link to that tutorial in the description box below, so go and check that out, because in that tutorial I break down how I made this sample, and I actually used this sample for a grime beat, but now I'm flipping it into a drill beat. And also in that video I use various different interesting techniques, so go and check it out. And once you've done that, come back to this video and everything will make sense. Now, once I was happy with the sample, all I done was I took out this vocal phrase right here, and then I took out this vocal phrase right here. And after I took out those vocal phrases, I just bounced the whole thing down to an audio. Once I bounced that sample down to an audio, I reversed it, and then I added an EQ, and I took out everything below 138 Hz. Once I done that, I added a sound shifter and I pitched it up by 3 semitones. Now when I originally made this sample, I was working in the key of C sharp minor. Now I've pitched up 3 semitones, it's in the key of E minor. Now this is what it sounds like with the effects on it. Once I was happy with that, I took that same sample flip and duplicated it and then processed it even more. And as you can see, it's this one right here. It's exactly the same as the first one. The effects I added to there was an EQ, and I've took out everything below 138 Hz. And this time I've took out a lot of the high frequencies, so everything above 16K. I've taken it all out, and then I added a halftime. And as you can see with my halftime, my speed's on 1/4, my mode's on 2, and the mix is at 100%. And this sample is also pitched up 3 semitones. And as you can see right here on this channel, this is my melodies channel, so everything that goes through my melodies channel is also pitched up 3 semitones. Now this is what this second layer sounds like. Now, the reason why I created this second layer, because I really liked those lower octaves and those lower frequencies, and I wanted to layer the first sample with some of those lower octaves and lower frequencies just to help thicken up the sample and give it some more character. This is what they both sound like together now. See, you can really hear it now, how it comes together all as one. If I take out that second layer, listen. Now I add it back in. You see how those low octaves and those low frequencies just back it up and complement it even more, just to help bring out the main characteristics and just to give the vocal some more body and some more energy. After that, I added some vocals, and this first vocal I added was from Arcade, and it's from this library right here, Perception, and this is what this vocal sounds like. I added some effects, and the first effect I added was a H delay, and as you can see, my timing is on half, my feedback is on 60%, and my drawing wet is on 49%. And then I added some reverb, and my mix is on 38%, and my decay is on 4 seconds. And this is what it sounds like with the effects on. After that, I added another vocal, which was also from Arcade, and it's from this library right here called Sanctum, and this is what it sounds like. And the only effect I added to that was an EQ, and as you can see, I took out everything below 260 Hz. Then I added another vocal, which was also from the Arcade Sanctum library, and this is what it sounds like. And the first effect I added to that was a vocal bender from Waves, and I've pitched it down by -12 semitones. Then I've used the formant and gone up 7 semitones. Then I've used the channel EQ and I've took out everything below 260 Hz. Then I added some H delay and my timing is on half. My feedback is on 60% and my drying wet is on 51%. Then I added another EQ and this time I've taken everything below 615 Hz. Then I've taken off some of the highs, so everything above 4.5K, just to help shape the vocal some more. Then I've added some Valhalla Uber modulation, or it's called Valhalla Uber mod, just to help give the vocal some chorus and some more texture. Then I've added Waves RVox just to help balance the dynamics of the vocal. And then I've added another EQ just to take off everything below 446 Hz. Now the reason why I added this last EQ, because when I added the Valhalla Uber mod, it added just a bit more of the low end frequencies, so I had to use this last EQ just to take out some more of that. This is what this vocal sounds like with all the effects on it now. So now this is what it sounds like with these vocals in there now. Now with these vocals, you can see it's just added a bit more character and a bit more energy to the sample. After that, I added some percs. Now I found this perc from a producer named Only One. The link to those perc clips will be in the description box below. Go and check that out, there are some sick ones in there. This is what this perc clip sounds like. And then I added some EQ to it, and as you can see it's heavily EQ'd. I took out everything below 13 Hz. This is what it sounds like with the sample. After that, I started with some drums, and the first thing I started with was the counter snare. Now I got this counter snare from the military drum kit, which was made by Slippery Haze, so shout out to Slippery Haze. The link for that drum kit will be in the description box below. Go and check that out. And this is the name of the counter snare right here. It's called Shark, and this is what it sounds like. And I added an EQ, and I took out everything below 384 Hz, and that was it. I just left it the way it was. Then I added a second counter snare, which is also from the military drum kit, and it's this one right here called Swish. And here's the pattern for it, and this is what it sounds like. And then I added some effects to it, and the only effect that I added was an EQ, and this one's heavily EQ'd. I've took out everything below 1800 Hz, and it's also panned to the right by +23. Next I added some snares, and the first snare I got from Splice, and it's this one right here, and this is what it sounds like. And I added an EQ to it, and I took off everything below 100 Hz. And here's the second snare, and I've used this second snare just to layer with the first one, just so it can help thicken it up and give it some more energy and some more body. And the only effect I added to that was an EQ, and I took out everything below 115 Hz, and this is what it sounds like. Then I added a third counter snare, which is also from the military drum kit, and here's the pattern for it, and this is what it sounds like. Next I added some hi-hats, and this hi-hat I got from Splice, and this is what it sounds like. And with this hi-hat, it's panned slightly to the left by -8. Then I added some shakers, and this is the pattern for it, and this is what it sounds like. And as you can hear, it's panned to the left by -42. Then I added another shaker. Here's the pattern for it, and this is what it sounds like. And with this shaker, it's panned to the right by +38. And then I added some open hi-hats, which I got from Splice, and this is what it sounds like. And this open hi-hat is panned to the left by -24. Then to finish the drums off, I added a kick drum, which I got from the sound kit ATL Culture, which was made by Trophies. There's some sick drum sounds in there, so go and check it out. The link for that drum kit will be in the description box below. Shout out to Trophies. This is what this kick sounds like. And what I've added there is an EQ. I've took out everything below 40 Hz, and I've done this to save space for my 808s and my basses. And then I've added the limiter. And as you can see here, I've gone to -3.9, which will just give it some more punch and some more loudness. And in the mix, this is what everything sounds like. And once I was happy with the drums, I decided to add some bass, and the first bass I added was this fretless bass from the EFM1 plugin, and it's Logic's own plugin, and it's this bass right here called Fretless Wave Bass. You've seen me use this in past tutorials, and this is what it sounds like. And the effects I used on there was just an EQ, and I've took out everything below 112 Hz, and I took out everything above 19k. The second bass that I added was an 808, and it's this one right here, and I got this 808 from the ATL Culture drum kit, and this is what it sounds like. Then I added another 808, which I got from Splice, and this is what this 808 sounds like. And I didn't add any effects to that, I just left it the way it was. Then I added one more bass, which I got from the Alchemy plugin in Logic. Then to find this bass in Alchemy, I went to category, highlighted bass, and I ended up choosing the first preset, and it's this one right here called 80s FM Bass Attack, and this is what it sounds like. And the only effect that I added there was an EQ, and I took out everything below 107 Hz, and this is what everything sounds like so far. After that, I added some drum fills and some effects. The first drum fill that I added was from the Redemption drum fills kit, which was made by Slippery Haze. Once again, the link for the sound kits will be in the description box below. And I ended up choosing 2 drum fills, and the first drum fill sounds like this. And then the second drum fill sounds like this. Now these drum fills, they come at the end of every 16 bar, so it's to help with the transitions into the next 16 bars, so not everything just sounds the same, so it just keeps the arrangement and the beat interesting and giving it a unique bounce. Next I added some effects, and the first effect I added was a crash, and this is what it sounds like. This crash is at the beginning of every 16 bar. Next is a clap with loads of reverb on it, and this is what it sounds like. After that was a perk effects, and this is what it sounds like. Next was a reverse clap. All those 3 effects and the drum fills, they all go at the end of every 16 bar. Once again, just to help the transition and to keep everything interesting. Now let's go ahead and have a listen to that. And that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, and more importantly, I hope that you've learned something. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Until next time, peace out.